Now, third poem, Love Poem for a Wife by A.K. Ramanujan. This we will finish. Listen to me carefully. Listen to me introduction carefully. Love poem for a wife is not a traditional love poem. People think that love poem is. Am I audible?
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Love poem for a wife is not a traditional love poem. That your eyes are beautiful, that you are beautiful. It is not such a love poem. It is a different kind of love poem written by A.K. Ramanujan. In this love poem, he says, talks about the unshared childhood. Because he married his wife, let us say that, for an example, he married his life at the age of 20. So 20 years before, her life he misses, and his life she misses. How can we say that they are married together? How can we say that they are life partners? How can we say that they are soulmates? The unshared childhood is the main theme of this poem. The unshared childhood is the main theme of this poem. Write down. The unshared childhood. The unshared childhood is the main theme of this poem. The unshared childhood. The unshared childhood is the main theme of this poem. What is the main theme of this poem?
Unshared childhood, sir.
Unshared childhood means this is not a traditional love poem. It is not a love poem.
Unshared childhood.
Listen to me. Listen to me. Listen to me. Listen. 20 minutes we'll finish the class. It is not. It is an unshared childhood. He says that he tells his wife. He writes his wife that they got married late. When they got married late, her childhood he misses, and his childhood she misses. Her childhood she misses, and his childhood she misses. So in some of the so finally towards the end of the poem, he says that it is better people get married right from the childhood itself. So he is almost encouraging childhood marriages. That is why he is criticized. That is why he is criticized. He is criticized because he encourages childhood marriages. He encourages childhood marriages. That's what. And in some Greek or Roman, in some or Greek or Roman, they marry their own cousins. So that also he says. That also he says. He says if a boy marries his wife right from the childhood, then there will not be any differences. They will not have any unshared childhood. They can live together. So he's criticized on these 2 points. He's criticized on these 2 points. The first point is that he is encouraging the childhood marriages. That is first point. Second point is that in some Roman and in some Roman philosophies, they marry their own cousins. So such marriages also will help them to lead a life of their own. The point he talks about this whole of the poem is only one thing. That is that they are married, but they miss each other's childhood. They are married, but they miss each other's childhood. Her lovely midnight gossips he misses, and his father she misses. His father's relationship she misses because they get married late. When they get married at 20 years, for example, when they get married at the age of 20, his 20 years of life she misses, and she got married at the age of 18. Let us say, as an example, I am talking of her 18 years he misses. Her gossips, her midnight gossips, her brandy fumes, her gossips with cousins, he misses. Her dog ride, he misses. Her dog rides, he misses. His father also, his father who passed away, she misses. So he says it is better people get married at the childhood itself. If they get married at childhood, then they will not have any unshared childhood. Unshared childhood, we see people getting married at the age of 20. Once again, I will tell this example and I'll start the poem. For example, a person gets married at the age of 20. And when he gets married at the age of 20, the boy is 20 and the girl is 18, let us say 18 years old. Boy is 20, girl is 18 years. So when they get married, his 20 years of life, she misses. Her 18 years, he misses. What all happened during that period? They miss each other. And how can we call them soulmates? So he says, when she talks, when love poem for a wife. So he says, who is disturbing? Please don't disturb. 1 minute. When he tells his wife, when she talks about their ancestral home in Alleppey, suppose his wife is talking to her brother about some old house at Alleppey, sitting in America. Then he is an onlooker. He doesn't know. He cannot participate in the discussion because they are talking of childhood. Because, for example, listen to me carefully. When his wife talks to his brother-in-law about an Alleppey house, Alleppey old ancestral house at Alleppey, and a bathroom and all that, then he will be only a silent listener. He cannot participate in the discussion. He cannot participate in the discussion because he's a newcomer. He doesn't know her childhood. She doesn't know his childhood. So therefore, they don't know. They are ignorant of their childhoods. That's where unshared past, unshared childhood. I told you at the very beginning of the poem that the poem talks about unshared childhood. Unshared childhood. His childhood is unshared by her, and her childhood is unshared by him. Therefore, they cannot say that they are soulmates. So to bridge this gap, he talks about this love poem for a wife. In this love poem for a wife, he says that, oh wife, you have missed my father. I have missed your father. I have missed your, when you fell in love, with a Muslim boy, and when you came late, your father was worried. All those experiences I missed. And your dog ride, I missed. Your midnight gossips, I missed. And my life also you missed. Therefore, so he's suggesting childhood marriages. And some Egyptians, they get married to their cousins. When they get married to their cousins, there will not be any unshared childhood. If they marry the childhood itself, there will not be any unshared childhood. So far I have taught something. Who will explain what all I have taught as a feedback? Tell me what I have taught. Somebody? Love poem for a wife, who is written by whom?
R.K. Narayan, sir. Sorry,
R.K. Narayan.
A.K. Ramanujan.
A.K.
Ramanujan.
R.K. Narayan Gadu. It is not R.K. Narayan. It is A.K. Ramanujan. Horrible. It is not R.K. Narayan. It is A.K. Ramanujan. Please don't say wrongly. Kindly, I beg you, don't say wrongly. What is the name of that? That's why I ask you again and again. A love poem for a wife is written by whom?
A.K. Ramanujan.
A.K. Ramanujan.
What is the main theme of this poem?
Unshared childhood.
Unshared childhood.
What does he say in this? What does he say in this poem?
He said about the childhood marriages are good. Couples marriage. About the Roman philosophy also.
No, what does he say
said
about?
he missed her
Childhood.
her childhood and she missed his childhood.
Very good, very good. So
he encourages the child marriages, sir. Like
so that's why
philosophy and Egypt philosophy, they should marry their cousins so that they will not miss their childhood days, sir.
that is where his suggestions are. That's all. But his suggestions are. Now who will read the poem? First you read the poem, I will explain the poem. No, I will read the poem. First I will read the poem, then you read the poem, then I'll explain it. 1 minute. Page number 91. Page number 91. Page number 91. Page number 91. Really, what keeps us apart at the end of years is unshared childhood. You cannot, for instance, meet my father. He is some years dead. Who is saying this?
Raman poet.
A.K. Ramanujan is saying this. To whom?
His
His
wife.
wife.
To his wife.
To his wife. He says that you missed my father. He is some years dead. So there is unshared childhood. You have missed major part of my life. I have missed major part of your life. So what is it? Really, what keeps us apart at the end of years is unshared childhood. You cannot, for instance, meet my father. He is some years dead. Neither can I meet yours. He has lately lost his temper and mellowed. The fathers were a little arrogant in the beginning, but later mellowed. In the Travers midnight gossip of cousins, reunions among brandy fumes, cashews and absences of grandparents, you suddenly grow nostalgic for my past, and I envy you and your village dog ride. I already told you. Her wonderful days. She used to have midnight gossips with her cousins. She used to have midnight gossips with her cousins, which he missed. Her dog ride, which he missed, and the mythology of the 7 crazy aunts. You begin to recognize me as I pass from ghost to real, and back again in albums of family rumors, in brothers' anecdotes, how noisily father bathed. Your father bathed very noisily. All your experiences I missed. He will acknowledge the wickedness of no reminiscence or no not, the burning end of cigarette in the balcony, date with a nice Muslim friend who only hinted at touches. When you fell in love, he says, he tells his wife that when she fell in love with a Muslim friend, her father was worried. Her father was moving in the balcony here and there, and all those things he misses. All those things he misses. North to south of the well, next to the jackfruit tree, in your father's house in Alleppey, sister-in-law and I were blank cutouts fitted to our respective slots in a room. You know, when his wife is discussing about the old Alleppey house, when his wife, who is disturbing, when his wife is discussing with her brother about the old Alleppey house, he and his brother-in-law's wife are mute spectators because they don't know anything about it. When his wife talks to her brother about their childhood, he doesn't know anything. Therefore, they are mute spectators. The whole of the poem talks about only one thing, that her past he misses, his past she misses. So how to make amends? Therefore, he gives the suggestions that people should get married at the childhood itself, childhood marriages or Egyptian marriages where they marry cousins. So that's it. Now, this is the poem that we talk about it. So with this, we have come to the end of the poem. In the next class, we will discuss 3 more poems. Thank you, one and all.